of someone who hurt you, a gift from a broken relationship, or souvenirs from a time of struggle may seem harmless, but each time your eyes meet them, the subconscious stirs. It remembers, and it pulls your energy back into the story. There is a difference between honoring the past and being imprisoned by it. Some objects are kept because they represent lessons, milestones, or sacred remembrance. These carry dignity and wisdom. But items that are tied to unresolved wounds do not serve as teachers. They serve as chains. They do not lift your spirit. They anchor it to the very pain you seek to overcome. The home, instead of being a place of healing, becomes a container of unresolved emotions. Even inherited objects can carry this weight. Furniture, jewelry, or heirlooms passed down from previous generations sometimes hold unspoken stories of hardship, grief, or unresolved family trauma. While the physical item may appear valuable, the energy it carries can transmit the unresolved emotions of those who owned it before. Sensitive people often feel this intuitively. They may not know the story of the item, but they sense a heaviness around it, a discomfort that cannot be explained logically. Such items should be treated with awareness. If they carry pain rather than blessing, they should not remain in your living space. Clutter itself often hides these unresolved energies. Many people hold on to things because letting go feels difficult. A drawer filled with letters from people no longer in your life, clothes tied to painful memories, or old objects that represent failure or loss. Each one is a silent reminder of what has not been released. Clutter is not only physical, it is emotional. Every object you refuse to let go of keeps part of your energy trapped in the past. By clearing such items, you are not only tidying your home, you are freeing your spirit. It is also worth noticing how these objects affect relationships. When two people share a home, and one keeps items tied to old wounds or former partners, the energy of the relationship becomes clouded. The space no longer fully belongs to the present. It is shared with ghosts of the past. Arguments may arise, intimacy may feel blocked, or peace may be disturbed, not because of the people themselves, but because of the energy woven into the objects surrounding them. The effect is subtle but powerful. Imagine trying to heal a wound while someone keeps reopening it every day. That is what happens when you live among objects tied to trauma. Healing requires space, silence, and distance from the source of pain. But when reminders are present in the form of items, the wound is never allowed to fully close. This is why many people feel an immediate sense of relief after decluttering items tied to negative chapters of their life. The energy of the past is released, and space is created for new experiences to enter. There is also a spiritual dimension. Many traditions teach that unresolved emotions attract lower energies. Pain, grief, anger, or resentment create openings, and objects tied to these emotions act like anchors that keep those energies present in the home. By keeping such items, you unknowingly allow your space to resonate with heaviness. The atmosphere becomes thick, sleep may feel restless, and the spirit may feel constantly drained. By removing these items, you close those doors and invite a lighter vibration to fill the space. Letting go of items tied to trauma is not always easy. People hold on to them for many reasons: sentimentality, fear of forgetting, or the belief that releasing them dishonors the memory. But letting go does not mean forgetting. It means choosing freedom over bondage. It means acknowledging the lesson, honoring the memory, but refusing to let the pain define your present environment. When you remove such objects, you are not rejecting your history. You are reclaiming your energy from it. Objects tied to unresolved trauma can also appear disguised as expensive or valuable possessions. A ring from a broken marriage, furniture bought during a painful period, or costly items associated with betrayal may be materially valuable, but spiritually costly. Their presence continues to bind you to the emotions of those times. Choosing to release them, even when they are materially valuable, is a statement of self-respect. It is a choice to value your peace over possessions. The home should be a reflection of who you are becoming, not only of where you have been. If it is filled with items that constantly pull you backward, your growth is slowed. When you remove them, you create space for the present moment and the future to unfold more clearly. Energy flows more freely, clarity returns, and the home begins to support your journey instead of holding you captive to your past. Occult symbols and tools misused without awareness are among the most dangerous items to keep in a home. Symbols are not just designs on paper or carvings on objects. They are energetic codes, keys that open doors to particular frequencies. For thousands of years, cultures across the world have used sacred symbols in rituals, prayers, and ceremonies because they understood their power. These marks, shapes, and tools are like antennas, tuning the human mind and environment to specific vibrations. When handled with respect and awareness, they can uplift, protect, and connect you with higher wisdom. But when misused, displayed casually, or acquired without understanding, they can attract forces that are not meant to dwell in your space. The world today has made symbols into fashion. Items with occult markings appear on jewelry, clothing, home decor, and even toys. People buy them for their aesthetic without knowing their origin or intention. But ignorance does not erase effect. Just as fire burns regardless of whether you believe it will, a symbol resonates with its frequency, whether or not you understand it. Some symbols invite clarity, some invite confusion. Some are protective, others are destructive. To keep such items without awareness is like leaving open doors in your home at night. You may not see what enters, but the space is unguarded. Occult tools such as tarot decks, Ouija boards, pendulums, and ritual objects fall into the same category. They are not inherently evil, but they are not toys. Each of them is designed as a bridge between the seen and unseen. They work because they connect the human mind to energies beyond ordinary perception. But when used without knowledge, grounding, or protection, they can open channels to forces that drain rather than uplift. A Ouija board sold in a store may appear like harmless entertainment, but its very design is to invite communication with the unseen. Without discipline and preparation, this communication does not bring guidance but chaos. Another problem lies in the origin of these objects. Many occult items are created with specific intentions during their making. An artifact carved in a ritual of anger, an amulet designed for domination, or an image created to glorify lower energies will hold that intention long after it is sold or passed on. When such items enter your home, they do not sit passively. They radiate the vibration they were born from. Sensitive people often notice this immediately. They may feel uneasy around the object, experience restless sleep in its presence, or feel their mood shift when near it. These are not random reactions. They are the body's intuitive response to an energetic disturbance. Symbols are powerful because they bypass the rational mind and speak directly to the subconscious. A person may not consciously recognize a symbol's meaning, but the deeper layers of the psyche respond to it. That is why sacred traditions use specific geometric patterns, mandalas, and sigils in meditation and prayer. These shapes create resonance with higher order, harmony, and balance. But symbols can also connect to disorder. Some represent chaos, destruction, or darker currents of existence. To display these without awareness is to invite that resonance into your life. Over time, it influences thoughts, emotions, and even the atmosphere of the home. Intent matters, but so does knowledge. A person may wear or display an occult symbol simply because it looks interesting. Their intention may be harmless, but the symbol still carries its original vibration. Intention can protect, but ignorance leaves openings. True use of symbols and tools requires both awareness and respect. They are not decorations, they are spiritual instruments. Just as you would not casually play with chemicals in a laboratory without training, you should not casually use or display tools that interact with energy. There is also a collective field associated with symbols. Over centuries, when millions of people direct intention, worship, or fear toward a particular symbol, that energy accumulates. A symbol is not only its original meaning, it becomes charged with the emotions and energy of those who have used it. For example, certain symbols associated with death cults or violent rituals carry the weight of those practices, even if now reproduced on a shirt or a trinket. To bring such a symbol into your home is to connect with that collective field, whether you realize it or not. One of the greatest dangers of misused occult tools is the illusion of control. People often believe that because they bought an item, they are its master. But in truth, the energy behind the item influences them as much as they influence it. A person who begins experimenting with tools like pendulums or cards without proper grounding may think they are guiding the process, but often they are being guided, sometimes by forces that do not have their well-being at heart. The attraction of mystery can quickly turn into entanglement with confusion, obsession, or fear. It is important to distinguish between sacred tools used with reverence and random items bought without awareness. A mala used in meditation, a cross placed with faith, or a yantra installed with devotion carries protective and uplifting energy because of the conscious practice behind it. But when tools and symbols are used as decoration, fashion, or entertainment, they lose sacred context. Stripped of reverence, they become open channels. This is where negative forces find entry through misuse, carelessness, and ignorance. Children are especially vulnerable in homes filled with such items. They are naturally sensitive, and their subconscious is impressionable. When occult symbols or tools are present without context, children may experience fear, nightmares, or confusion. Their energy is pure, but their awareness is open, and they pick up what adults often ignore. For their sake, the home must remain a space of clarity, not confusion. The misuse of occult symbols is not only about spiritual danger. It also distorts the natural flow of energy in the home. The atmosphere may feel heavy, chaotic, or draining. People may argue more often, feel restless, or struggle to focus. These are signs that the space is not aligned. Energy is being stirred but not guided. It is like leaving electrical wires exposed. Sooner or later, sparks will cause damage. Respect for symbols means understanding their power and treating them accordingly. If you do not know the meaning or purpose of a symbol, it should not be casually displayed. If you do not understand the discipline behind a tool, it should not be used for amusement. To treat sacred instruments